away $176 today in Tobyhanna. We also got to Williamsport, New Milford, Ashland, and Blakely. And we'd like to get to your house to help us out, get your card into the Super $16,000 Club, then sit by your TV every day and wait for that $16,000 phone call to come. We started off tomorrow once again with Theater of Blood, starring Vincent Price. Tomorrow, I hope you meet me right back here at the $16,000 movie. Have a nice night.
Vincent Price in Theater of Blood.
This is the news station, WNEP 16.
Cleanup expected at a chemical dump site in Taylor has begun. From Skycam 16, you can see work crews piling up drums of toxic waste at the dump off Prince Street. They're getting all of the barrels together before they're moved out. No one knows for sure how long the cleanup will take, but some people living near the Taylor site are worried that the toxic dump has forced the value of their homes to go down.
So we should not pay the taxes we're paying. Period.
The Taylor Neighborhood Association will meet tomorrow to talk over their plans of getting their taxes lowered. When it comes to chemical spills, can your local fire department protect you? Newswatch 16's Bob Reynolds reports that one official does not think so and wants something done about it.
These firemen are only practicing putting out chemical fires at a parking lot at Luzerne County Community College. But that doesn't mean they haven't faced real dangers. Earlier this year, a tractor-trailer caught fire in the Poconos. Toxic fumes were released. Just last week, Scranton firemen were faced with a leaking tank of poisonous ammonia. Firemen handled both situations without any lives lost. But Wes Keller fears that may change. Keller is a Lackawanna County volunteer fireman and a leader in the Northeastern Pennsylvania Firemen's Federation. He says some departments don't have enough training or equipment to do the job right.
We want the knowledge, we want the training, we want the equipment now, so we don't have to spend money on hospitals and funerals later.
Wes Keller is spearheading a move to turn the tide. He'd like to see volunteer firemen form a special team to fight chemical leaks and fires. Ron Gore is a firefighting expert from Florida.
And not only is it a good move, but it's a necessary one. It's like forming a fire department or a police department. It's necessary in these times.
It's not going to be easy or cheap to form the hazardous material unit. Local firefighters will be talking about it some more before possibly asking government officials to help pick up the tab. It'll cost about $175,000. Possibly some of that money will be yours to put together a hazardous materials response unit. Proponents of the plan say that'll be money well spent if they can only save one life. Bob Reynolds, Newswatch 16, Nanticoke.
Coming up next, the story of one town fighting to stay alive and another town that has made its turnaround.
Plus, Mike Stevens goes on the Pennsylvania Road to visit with a guy who turns scraps into bridges.
Serving all of northeastern and central Pennsylvania, this is wnep-tv.
Many cities here in northeastern and central Pennsylvania depend on a busy downtown business district to stay alive.
Tonight we have two stories, the stories of two cities, Nanticoke and Williamsport.
Newswatch 16's Mark Davis takes a look at tough times in downtown Nanticoke.
And Craig Stevens found a business turnaround in Williamsport. First, Mark Davis.
Main Street in Nanticoke. Businessmen here tell me this is a hard place to make a living. There are a few vacant buildings like the old State Theater, shut down a few years ago. And now there are reports the Leader department store, here for 67 years, might close by the end of the year. Now, a few businessmen point to the parking situation as a major problem. John Krupnicki has been running this hardware store for the last 3 years.
The biggest problem right now is parking, but really nobody wants to face it, especially everybody up to, I would say, the city building.
But not everyone shares John's opinions. A few doors down the street, I visited Leventhal's, a clothing store in business here for the last 81 years. Joseph Leventhal tells me it's not parking, but a lack of local support, which hurts the businesses in Nanticoke.
If they support the stores, they'll find plenty of place to park. We'll find it for them if they want to support the stores.
The reports aren't definite yet, but if the Leader's store here in Nanticoke does close, businessmen like Joe Leventhal say it's only going to continue the myth that Nanticoke's a ghost town. He said a lot of people in this town believe that, and he said their minds are a very difficult thing to change. Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, Nanticoke.
I'm Craig Stevens in Williamsport, where the downtown has turned around. A year and a half ago, Mike McCarter opened his family clothing store in what was a vacant storefront. He'd worked downtown for someone else for 20 years. During that time, he saw businesses prosper. Then came a slump. And now that the downtown is making a comeback, he wants a piece of it.
New opportunities with the Main Street program and everything available. I think it gives gives the opportunity for young businessmen like myself to consider and open up business.
The Main Street program Mike referred to is an experimental program in its third year here in Williamsport. It's sort of a marriage between government and business, where businessmen can get low-interest loans to fix up buildings like the one across the street and do other things that'll help Williamsport's economy. This gallery of small shops opened less than a year ago. It, too, used to be a vacant building. Merchant Olivia Andem opened a shop inside. It's her first business venture, but she's optimistic.
We have a small town here, a small city, and our progress is going to be slow, but hopefully over the long haul it will be a progress and not a step backwards.
Two things could stand in the way of that progress, though. One is this vacant hole downtown, still empty from an arson fire nearly 4 years ago. The other are these vacant storefronts downtown, and merchants tell us the longer they remain vacant and the longer the fire hole remains a hole, it'll be hard to totally turn downtown Williamsport around despite any gains they've made so far. Craig Stevens, Newswatch 16, Williamsport.
Our own meteorologist Tom Clark is next with the forecast.
Tom says keep the blankets handy for the next several nights.
Hi, I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Jane Adonisio. Here's a preview of Jacques Cousteau's greatest adventure. On tomorrow's PM magazine, see the first exploration of the entire 4,000 miles of the treacherous Amazon.
Then go backstage at the fiercely competitive auditions for TV's Solid Gold and see what it takes to win a coveted spot.
See the latest fitness fashions that make you look good while you're shaping up. That's tomorrow at 7 on wnep-tv 16.
Well, the geese are in the air, and there is Tom, so he's ready to tell us all about. What are you looking at out there, Tom?
Looking for some geese up overhead.
Right.
I don't know. I think I'll stay north for the winter. Keep you informed on what's ahead over the coming months. But I had a small crowd in my backyard this afternoon. Brownie Troop number 283 from just outside of Hazleton, down there in Sugarloaf. Came up to visit the Channel 16 Weather Center today, and it's good they came today because the weather won't be as nice for the rest of this week. And I'll show you why after we have a look at the temperature outside now in this backyard. We have a mixture of blue and gray overhead. The reading stands at 58 degrees at the moment. We have a humidity of 63%. The wind southeast at 9, an active breeze in the backyard now. And the barometer under lots of pressure today, reading very high, 30.45 inches. The high today was 62 and the low this morning was 42. Now there we have a very private reading session going on at Courthouse Square in Scranton this afternoon. Good day to read. How about it? Now take a look at Newswatch 16's color satellite photograph. Look very closely up over the northeastern corner of Pennsylvania. Some breaks in the clouds, allowing for partly sunny skies in the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton area this afternoon with a temperature of about 62 degrees for the high. But just to the west in Williamsport, cloudy, 49, and even a little bit of rain falling. So quite a contrast across the viewing area today. No thanks to a southeasterly flow coming in off the ocean. Now, it's all part of a huge clockwise circulation around the center of high pressure, this cold Canadian air mass. You can see the clarity in the view up there over southeastern Canada. The nation's coldest temperature, 23 this morning, up there near the center of that high in Holton, Maine. These clouds down here will also begin to intensify as the moist flow comes in. Winds in the upper atmosphere will become more southerly and increase over the next couple of days. So all of this moisture will begin to work its way up into Pennsylvania, and so it does not look good, folks, for the next couple of days. Dry weather tonight out in Cincinnati for the Monday night football game, and there could be a little bit of rain down in Baltimore tomorrow night for the opening game of that World Series. But there was snow this afternoon out in the mountains of Colorado. Now here's our forecast for tonight. It looks like this. Just some cloudiness overhead. It'll stay dry. There'll be a cool breeze out there as well. 40 in Montrose, 45. The low in Pittston, about 45 down there in Sugarloaf. There it is, just west of Hazleton. 48 in Valley View, also in Schuylkill Haven, and about 45 in Watsontown tomorrow morning for the low. Now tomorrow, shades of gray. Many shades of gray overhead, a lot of clouds, low clouds. It should stay dry, though, tomorrow, and it will be plenty cool as well. 59 in Forest City, about 62 in Wyoming, 60 down there in Bangor for the high tomorrow, and a damp 62 in Bloomsburg, about 56 in Williamsport for the high tomorrow. Lots of clouds. Southeasterly wind about 14 miles per hour. Very high barometric pressure again tomorrow, and because of that, our health watch looks like this. Well, your reflexes, concentration, and mood maybe just a bit higher than normal tomorrow. But a little dampness in the air may make your resistance to aches and pains on the low side of average. So that old scar wound may act up a little bit tomorrow. Partly cloudy, 45 degrees, the low tonight. Tuesday, it will be cloudy tomorrow, 62. Some rain will be coming in, it looks like, by Wednesday morning. And rain and drizzle most of Wednesday, a horrible day, 59 for the high. Showers again on Thursday as well, 67 degrees. Friday, I'm hoping we'll see some sun. But like I say, it does not look good the next couple of days. Cloudy, cool, then the rain comes in on Wednesday. Karen, Nolan, can't make it any better than that.
Oh, well, I think you did a fine job myself,
yeah, that's
don't you?
okay.
We need a
use
little
the rain
rain,
anyway.
sure. Okay.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
And Joe Zone is next with a Super 16 lineup.
And Rick Cerrone of the Yankees talks about the possibility of being traded.
Actors go out for revenge. They don't act. They kill.
It's a very interesting play, don't you think so, Miss Moon? Especially that scene where Joan of Arc dies at the stake. Though I'm afraid you might find our novel version of it a bit of a shock.
Vincent Price in Theater of Blood. Today's $16,000 horrible horror movie here on WNEP-TV 16.
Our brisk, cool climate is welcome news to one group of outside enthusiasts looking ahead to winners, skiers, and ski resort operators. Newswatch 16's Dan Fiorucci found out today that some of those operators weren't exactly snowed under with business last year.
Last winter was a tough winter for the tourist business in the Poconos. There were too many warm days and not enough skiers.
Yeah, we could have had better weather.
Bob Ugicini of the Pocono Vacation Bureau says that at some resorts, business was off 17%.
We were kind of fighting Mother Nature and Reaganomics in the same winter, which wasn't the easiest two things to combat.
Only 499 to go. This year, the economy looks a little better. And as resort operators in the Poconos put away lounge chairs and the other trappings of summer, new hope is developing. There's a chill in the air, and resort operators couldn't be happier. They say that if the weather will just get cold and stay cold, they'll be in business.
Oh yeah, the colder the better.
Mike Tunstall of Mount Airy Lodge says that if temperatures will just stay below freezing, snow machine sprayers like these will be able to make up for any shortfalls in natural snow.
You need a good cold temperature, 28 degrees, we can make a lot of good snow.
And so the moral of the story, if the economic indicators stay up and the temperatures stay down, then this year the ski business should get a lift. Dan Fiorucci, Newswatch 16, Mount Pocono.
And coming up, you say you want a house quick? Stay tuned.
Plus, Joe Zone takes to the streets to find out who is going to win the World Series. Sports when we come back.
Hi, I'm Sue Heon from Clark Summit. Northeastern Pennsylvania was a place where I first grew to love swimming. At Abington Heights, I spent a lot of hours in the pool, but it's nothing like the 8 hours a day that I spend in training here at Germantown Academy for the 1984 Olympics. Please support the United States Olympic Foundation, and who knows, maybe you'll be seeing me in the 1984 Games.
They say money can't buy you health, happiness, or love, but for $100,000, it'll at least get you a date. You've heard of dating services where you pay a fee and you're set up with the man or woman of your dreams. Well, in Los Angeles, where else, there's a special dating service strictly for millionaires. It's called ExecuMatch. For 100 grand, they'll fix you up with another very, very rich person. So far, only 5 men and 4 women have joined the Millionaire matchmaking service. And they all hope that special someone they meet will love them for who they really are, and not just their money.
That's a problem, isn't it?
It doesn't sound like a problem to me. 5 men, 4 women, $100,000 apiece. That's $900,000 already in business.
That's a nice business.
Absolutely. How much of that can they hide in their expense account, right, Joe?
It's a problem, isn't it? I got a problem for you.
What's that?
Okay, everybody's picking the Orioles. Do you know that? The people who are supposed to know, and I'm talking about the Vegas bookmakers, have made the Orioles 6-5 favorites to win the World Series. Now, I want to know is what makes these guys experts? How come they're so smart anyways? I've got my own system. I ask people. That's right, I talk to people. Now, obviously, they've got to be unbiased, and you've got to try to go to a place where you can find people who really aren't rooting for one team or the other. Place like the parking lot at Veterans Stadium. Make a prediction on the World Series.
Prediction on the World Series, Baltimore in 6.
Where are you from?
Nanticoke.
Prediction on the series.
Phillies in 4.
Where are you from?
Dunmore, Gene Grogan, no!
Make a prediction.
Phillies in 5, 5th game, I'll be here.
Where are you from?
Battle, New Jersey.
Okay, make
6.
Phillies in 6. Where?
Beaver Meadows, Pennsylvania.
Make a prediction.
Baltimore in 2.
Drums, PA. Okay, we're going down the line. Where are you from?
Dunmore. Phillies in 5.
Kingston, Phillies in 5.
Ringtown, Pennsylvania, Phillies in 5. Definitely.
Bloomsburg, Phillies in 6.
Greeley, Phillies in 6.
Trollman
Greenland,
says in 5 Phillies, yeah. Trollman says in 5 in Phillies, yeah.
Drifting Bobo, speaking for Sparky, Baltimore in 6.
Greentown, PA, Phillies in 5.
Ringtown, Phillies in 5. Mike Frank, Wilkes-Barre, Phillies in 4. Yeah, 4. Phillies in 4. Johnson, 4. Yeah.
Now, who do you really think is going to win? Las Vegas bookies, what do they know? I'm going with the Phillies in 5. Incidentally, the Phillies workout in Baltimore was rained out today. There's a 30% chance of rain tomorrow night. John Denny for the Phillies, Scott McGregor for the Orioles. Showtime, 8 o'clock here on 16. Some folks say Billy Martin may not be around as Yankee manager next year. There are some players who might be happy if that happens. One of them is Rick Cerone, the Yankee catcher, in town today at Pocono Downs Columbus Day celebration, signing autographs, meeting with fans. He told Tim Carlson about his feelings toward Billy as manager.
There's been a lot spoken about the way players felt about how Billy handled. I think that's all been in the papers. Myself, it was a tough year because I really didn't know what day I was playing and what day I wasn't. So as far as me and Billy, we didn't get along that great. Next year can be different, though.
How about your relationship with George Steinbrenner now? How are things going with that?
Well, Mr. Steinbrenner's doing okay. He still signs the checks and treats his players well.
Rick will be gone. Count on it. When the second and third teams in the Super 16 were knocked off Saturday, we knew there were going to be some major changes in this week's lineup. Check it out. The new kid on the block, Bangor. They're 6-0. 15 is 5-0. Bishop O'Hara, 14th. Wyalusing, 13th ranked team, Blue Mountain. They are 5-1. Honesdale undefeated and ranked 12th. Dunmore, they're on top of the Big 11 with a perfect 5-0. North Pocono, third last week, knocked off by Prep. They're now number 10. Valley West, Wyoming Valley West, second last week, knocked off by Hanover. They're 9th. Mount Carmel, just one loss. That to Berwick, they're 8th. Valley View is sneaking up again. They're 7th. Number 6, Scranton Prep, 4-1. 5th ranked, undefeated Montoursville. Number 4, Coughlin. Third ranked, Hanover. Great big win for them Saturday. Number 2, Pottsville. And number 1, still, Berwick. And coming up Friday night, guess what? The biggest football game of the year, Berwick and Pottsville. It's the Super 16 game of the week. Okay, let's check the fish and hunting forecast for tomorrow. It's another one of those early morning jobs. 6 a.m. looks real nice there, and then there's some nice peaks along the rest of the day. So if you're hunting or fishing, those are the best times. That's all of it. Give tonight your best shot. See you tomorrow at 6 with a World Series preview.
Can't wait. Can't believe it's World Series time already. That went fast.
Yeah, when your team isn't in it, Karen, it's really
drags on, right, Joe?
Yeah.
I got a feeling that Zone's a little bit excited about this one coming up anyway, right? Newswatch 16 travels the Pennsylvania Road to Columbia County. Next.
Mike Stevens has the story of a man whose bridges span his garage.
Hi, I'm Dave Lettieri from Scranton. I started my training in northeastern Pennsylvania 7 years ago. And today I'm at Scranton's Nayog Park where I had my first bike race. But now I'm training for the 1984 Olympics. It will take a lot of hard work and dedication to get to the Olympic Games, and we need your support. So please send your contribution to the United States Olympic Committee. Who knows, maybe you'll see me in Los Angeles next year.
A public service of WNEP-TV 16.
And finally, tonight, some people have a knack for turning nothing into something. Our man on the Pennsylvania Road, Mike Stevens, has the story of one of those folks in Columbia County.
Joe Zalaki's garage in Benton looks like a miniature lumber yard with its stacks of tiny 2x8s and 4x4s. They all came from scrap.
I built a home and put a heatlator in. And someone mentioned the place here in Benton Wood Products. There's a lot of scrap wood you can burn. So the more I looked at the wood, I figured something has to be done with it. And I love to play with wood, so I finagled my way through it.
And look at what that finagling has gotten for Joe. Stacks of miniature covered bridges. So many of them, they threaten to take over part of the garage.
The mass of it seemed to grow. There must be male and female. They're growing along the way. But I started big and they seem to be getting smaller and smaller. What I'm going to do with them, I haven't figured it out.
Nor has Joe quite figured out what to do with another project he had. Another place to put those scrap pieces.
The idea is taken from a puzzle. And then I looked around and found a picture of the bridge. And that's where it's taken from, the Port Authority Bridge in New York.
At a couple of hours here and there, it took Joe 5 months to build the 9-foot bridge, string by string, plank by plank. Still ahead for Joe, maybe, a replica of the Eiffel Tower. He thinks that'll be a good way to pass the winter, and a good place to use all that wasted wood. I'm Mike Stevens, Newswatch 16 on the Pennsylvania Road in Benton.
And we're told that the winters get mighty cold up there in Columbia County, right? Here's a lot of time. That's Newswatch 16 for this Monday.
On the update tonight, Night Beat reporter Bob Constantini will follow the investigation into the shooting in Old Fort.
And next, ABC and World News Tonight. For the team, thank you for being with us.